Okay, let's take a look at brief exercise 9-1, which involves setting standards and preparing a standard cost card. Now I'll read the information that you can see on the screen there. Okay, Martin Company manufactures a powerful cleaning solvent. The main ingredient in the solvent is a raw material called Ecol. Information concerning the purchase and use of Ecol appears below. Okay, they purchased it in 15-gallon containers at a cost of $119 per container. A discount of 2% is offered by the supplier for payments within 10 days, and Martin Company takes all discounts. Shipping cost, which Martin Company must pay, amount to $139 for an average shipment of 100 15-gallon containers of Ecol. Now the bill of material calls for 5 quarts of Ecol per bottle of cleaning solvent. Each gallon contains 4 quarts. About 7% of Ecol is lost through spillage or evaporation, and the 5 quarts above is the actual content per bottle. In addition, statistical analysis shown that every 41st bottle is rejected at final inspection because of contamination. Alright, so with that information, how do we compute the standard? Well, we start off with the cost per gallon. Right? So we know we're going to start with $119, given right there. Then we know there's going to be a 2% cash discount. Okay, so if we knock off 2%, we're down to $116.62. All right, then we need to add in the shipping costs. I'm just moving the mouse off to the side here so you can see the numbers. And $139 divided by 100, because they said the average shipment size is 115-gallon containers, is $1.39. Okay, so we add in the shipment cost, and now we're up to $118.01. Total cost per 15 gallons, $118.1. Now, what else do we need to do? Let me slide this off entirely. All right, the number of quarts per container is 15 gallons times 4 quart gets you 60 quarts, and the standard cost per quart then is the $118 and a penny that we came up with as the cost per 15-gallon container, divided by the 4 quarts per container. Okay, so the standard cost per quart comes out to be $1.97. All right, next let's tackle requirement 2, which I put on the screen right here. Compute the standard quantity of Ecol in quarts. All right, we already know it's $1.97. Let's compute the standard quantity. The content per bill of material, they tell you, is 5 quarts. Okay, so you have to add in the allowance for evaporation and spillage. Well, how would you do that? You take the 5 quarts and you would divide it by 93%. Where'd we come up with 93%? It's 1 minus the 7%. That gets you to 5.38 is what you have to start with to generate 5 quarts. Okay, so 5.38 minus 5 gives you 0.38 quarts. Right? So the total we have to start with is the 5.38 quarts. Now that should be self-explanatory at this point. So if we add the allowance, then we need to add the allowance for rejected bottles. 5.38 quarts divided by 40 bottles is 0.13 quart. Well, where did we come up with that? Okay, right here they say every 41st bottle is rejected. So 5.38 divided by 40 bottles gives us what the allowance would be for a rejected unit. 1 rejected unit. Add that together, we get the standard quantity per saleable bottle of solvent. Okay, and just to finish this problem up, the third requirement says use the data that you've already computed and prepare a standard cost card showing the standard cost of Ecol per bottle of cleaning solvent. Alright, well the standard quantity is 5.51. We already computed that in part 2. We multiply it times the $1.97, which was the cost per quart that we computed in part 1. Multiply the two, you get about $10.85, and that's your answer for that area right there. And that's what's required on this problem, everyone.